I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine your boss tells you you're going to go to Miami, Florida. You're going to go to Miami, Florida for a project. You know, you're going to go to Miami. You're going to go to the beach. You could go do your stuff on the beach. You could do whatever you want, but you need to go over there and do some work over there. He says, yeah, like it's going to be for your work. We're going to pay for you to go. You're going to have a fun time. And you keep asking him over a course of 2 years. You're like, so when am I going to Miami? When am I going to Miami? You know, he told you, oh, July, you're going to Miami. And then he's like, oh, never mind. Last second plans. We're going to keep pushing it back a little bit. And then 2 years down the line, all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't want to wait anymore to go to Miami. Where else can I go? And he says, oh, I got something for you. You're going to go hunt for alligators in Louisiana. That's what you're going to do. Now, you may feel some anger. You may feel some disappointment. You may feel like, oh, what is this? What just happened to me? That's what just happened to Mike Chandler. That's what just happened to Michael Chandler. Realistically, that is what happened to him. You know, he thought he was going to get the paradise life. He thought he was going to have that fight that gives you all the money. He's going to be a rich man. But instead, he wasted 2 years of his career, and now he's having a rematch with Charles Oliveira. And if he loses against Charles Oliveira, it may just be done. You know, it may just be over. That might be it for his career. Let me see if the tea's still hot. Yeah, the tea's still hot. I feel it. I'm not going to be able to get it. Oh, my fingers. Who is Conor McGregor going to fight? I think he possibly could fight Nate Diaz, the trilogy. I don't know. A lot of people don't agree with me when I say this. I don't think Conor McGregor beats any of the top 5. I just don't see him doing it. I think that his mind's in other places. He's doing all that bare knuckle stuff now. He's out partying. He's not in the mental state to be that committed fighter that just wants it more. I don't think he's going to want to win more than all these other guys. I think he's just going to want to go to return, just to see that paycheck, just to see the fans calling his name. I don't think he's actually going to want to win the fight. No, I don't think he is. Some of y'all may have some arguments why, but I just don't see it. I don't understand. And I think Mike Chandler is going to go in there against Charles Oliveira. People say, oh, Mike might win. I don't think he is. I think whoever loses this fight between Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler, your career is over. That's just what I believe. But I just don't see Mike Chandler beating Charles. I don't think Mike Chandler has defense. I don't think he's that good of a fighter. I think that he just goes in there and he makes interesting fights, but he's the guy that does the interesting fights but never wins. He beat Tony Ferguson. That's the only thing he's done recently. That's the only thing that you can really say. What else are we going to say? He goes in there against these big names. He has these great fights, but he loses them. He doesn't win those big fights. Sorry, I really was emotional about that. Going forward, what's with all these fighters? I know Sean O'Malley literally just said, he was like, I'm going to take a year. I'm not going to fight for a year. What's with all these guys wanting to take years off? You know, they lose one fight and they just want to take all these years off of fighting. Like, what are we doing here? You're losing your relevancy. I don't understand the concept of you purposely losing relevancy and putting rust on yourself coming back into the fight game. How many times has a guy taken years off come back and beat the top guys? How many times did that happen? John Jones did it, yeah, but he's a special specimen of a fighter. We don't get that a lot. Tyson Fury did it in boxing. Who else has done it? Tell me who else has done it. Like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? I don't understand the concept of being like, oh, I lost. Or Adesanya when he was like, I'm not fighting until 2026 or 2027. He comes back like 6 months later. And then he lost. Adesanya lost. Okay? So it's like you're purposely losing relevancy on yourself, especially Sean O'Malley, a guy that a lot of people were trying to look at. And now you're taking like a whole year off so everyone can start paying attention to other fighters instead of you. I guess some people may say, yeah, he's going to practice grappling and all that. But I just feel like, yeah, you could practice grappling, but you could still do tune-up fights so people could watch you, so people could still see you, so they still know who you are. Nowadays, in audience, people have short-term memory. They don't pay attention to all these other people after a while. They move on to different people instantly. You see some other person, you start paying attention to them. Like Adesanya's career, so many people have turned against Adesanya. For he used to be one of everyone's favorite fighter, even though people said he was boring. A lot of people liked Adesanya. And now no one even looks at him. Charles Oliveira. People love Charles Oliveira, and he still fights, but he doesn't fight as much now. People are starting to look away from him. Alex Pereira fights all the time. People love him. People love Alex because he's always fighting. Even after he lost, he went back to fighting. He didn't see Alex be like, I'm going to take 2 years off after getting knocked out to Adesanya. No. No. I just don't understand the concept of taking all these years off when you're not actually retiring. When you're retiring and you come back, that's different. That's a different thing. But when you're purposely like, oh, I'm just going to take a lot. I'm going to take these years off. I'm going to take a year off. I don't know. Especially in your prime. When you're a little older, I get it. You know, I get it. You're old. You need time to let your body heal. You have a family that you want to be with all the time. But when you're in your prime and it's time for you to make that money and you know that you could sell, why are you taking years off? Why? Sorry, I just had to ramble about that. But last point here. Dana White said a few days ago, he's almost 100% sure Jon Jones isn't going to be able to ignore the talk and he's going to fight Tom. Then, I think it's 2 days ago, Jon Jones says that he's done after this fight against Stipe, that he's going to retire. And I don't think he can. I don't think Jones could walk away and be seen as the greatest of all time by a lot of the modern people if he walks away from this fight. I think Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall has to happen. And as much as I love Jon Jones, I think this is a passing of the torch fight. I don't think Jones beats Aspinall. As much as I want him to, I would love it. I love Jones. I loved Jones throughout his whole career. I loved watching his fights. He was one of the first fighters I started watching. I loved him. But man, Aspinall is, that guy's another level. Another level. We haven't seen truly how he is on the ground, though. That's the one thing I say about Aspinall is that he's never been on his back, stuck on his back. We never seen him be put in that situation where he has to get out of it. We never seen him do that. And I feel like Jones could take advantage of that, but at the same time, Aspinall's hands are so fast. And at the end of the day, Jon Jones, greatest of all time, yes, age kicks in. Age will kick in every night. I feel it's just more of a situation where you have to take the fight. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people questioning Jon Jones if he walks away from Aspinall. If he doesn't take this fight, if he walks away and he retires, a lot of people are always going to question Jones. Always going to talk smack about Jones not fighting Aspinall when he could go and face this. Because you could lose a fight and still be seen as the greatest of all time. Then Jones is an old man. All right, technically, in the UFC-wise, he's an old man fighting someone in his prime. So at some point, it's excusable to lose the fight. You know, people are going to hold it against you fully, but if you win this fight, there's even more signs that there's no doubt you're the best. That he went and took the fight, that he wasn't scared of fighting Tom. But if he walks away, all these people nowadays are going to remember that he didn't fight Tom Aspinall, that he was afraid of Tom Aspinall. I'm not saying he's afraid, but until a lot of people are going to keep saying that because you know how people are. The media talks. Media is always going to talk. And I just feel like it's best in his situation to go out and show that he's not afraid of nobody, and he'll take this fight. I'll see y'all later. Have a good day.